So, we're coming to a close. It's nearly done, but I hope you've all learned something new, had a chance to actually make new collaborations with one another, and actually enjoyed the day as well. Hopefully you're taking some good ideas home with you that you can share with others, and I hope you all feel that you're part of this network now. So, I just would like to pass it on to JB to give some closing thoughts.
Yes. And I very much spent the day thinking about what will I take back home, what will I steal from this continent and bring to the North America, and of course give you all credit for the good work that you're doing, because it's impressive. I frequently tell my colleagues back home how much more progressive virtual patient research and scenario-based research is in Europe and Eastern Europe, and really represented by this whole room, much more sophisticated and advanced it is than what we do in the United States. I do have a few things that I'm going to take back. In general, the idea that we're all still struggling with common problems that have been part of the virtual scenario, virtual patient world for a long time, which is how best to create the cases, what's the most efficient way, how can we bring the cost of development down, and I heard a lot of good ideas, and if nothing else, feel better because we all share in similar challenges. More specifically, Diana and her recommendations on how to be more creative in using questions within a learning experience, and how to break down and deconstruct the learning that occurs around questions in a way that's more creative, and I thought I could pretty quickly plug that into some of our virtual scenario learning experiences and make them more effective. Training against medical error is a concept that makes a lot of sense. It's not natural to a physician like myself because you try not to make errors, but learning from errors is actually probably more effective than we give credit to, and I'll use those examples from this meeting. Also wanted to mention the most bizarre thing I will bring back to my colleagues. Adam Warren engaged us in a conversation about bouffant hairdos. Now, not all of you may know what a bouffant hairdo is, but it's an old-fashioned style used by women, but it really was about a project that he worked on to train hairdressers how to be more efficient and ecological with water and resources, and used a virtual scenario environment in order to teach hairdressers how to be more ecological friendly and reduce their carbon footprint. And if that's not a kind of strange and interesting way to demonstrate the flexibility of virtual scenarios and virtual patients, I don't know what else is. But lastly, I want to thank Terry and his group, Terry specifically for your rapidly expanding maps. Every time I see you present, you have a map that shows all the institutions that you've brought together, and it started out with just Europe in your map, and you had to spread it a little bit across the Atlantic Ocean, and now you've gone all the way across, all the way to Vietnam. So I commend you in what I've always thought is your greatest skill, which is bringing people together and bringing disparate organizations with many different languages and educational goals to kind of get together and work together to further this virtual patients and virtual scenarios. And you've always mentioned how you're only able to do it because you don't write software and you don't create virtual patients. And keep it that way. The role that you're playing in your role of Trupti and Sheetal in bringing together these different organizations is extremely valuable. Thank you.
Just want to say thank you to all the presenters today. They've been fantastic. They've been able to share some great knowledge and their ideas and thoughts and research, and it's really appreciated. And thank you to all of you for turning up and helping us make this event a success, because without you, it wouldn't be what it is today. And finally, thank you to the e-learning team that's helped and been the backbone of the organisation of this team and this event. And finally, Terry.
Well, Shita's actually given my thank yous, which is to all of you for coming, all of our partners who've actually turned up from a long distance too, especially to our keynote speakers. I knew JB would come because, you know, after all, this is your area and you'd like that. But Diana, it's a great privilege that you came and joined us in something like this. I also want to thank the e-learning team, but obviously one person who has been awesome over the last Shita. She's been absolutely amazing over the last 3 years of Grange.